chapter 10. Chapter 10, dear student. You can go in page number, one line page 9, no, 696, one line page, and book page 673. Book page 673, the graph, chapter 10. eh? Graphs. Page number 673.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. Honey, how are you? And why you are late, miss?
Sir, sorry, sir. Today I am late.
It's okay.
Sir, how many topic left for
These
final?
topics only these topics left.
Okay, sir.
This is the simple definition. What is graph? Actually, graph is a set. Graph is a pair. Pair between V and E. Pair between V and E. So what is V? Pair between V and E. Pair between V and E. What is V? V is a set of vertices. Actually, vertex. This called nodes. Node. And E a set of edge, right? As for example, these dots A and B, if we name it dots A and B, and this is the edge. This is the vertex A. This is the vertex A. This is vertex B. Vertex A and vertex B, or it's called node. It's called node. Another name, node, right? So A and B, so you can say A and B is connected by this line. This line name is called edges, sides, or arm. It's called edge. Do you understand? So if you consider another example, So edge 1, 2, 3, vertex 2, 3, 4. So how many edges here and how many vertices? Do you understand? So there are 4 vertex. These dots are called vertex. Dot. These dots
Yes.
are called vertex. Vertex, 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 and the uh, the connection between vertices. The connection between vertex, this vertex or this vertex, between any vertices connected by line. This line name is edge. Okay.
Sir,
Do you
again,
understand?
please.
Ummehani. So Ummehani, graph, what is graph? Actually, graph is a pair. Pair of what? Or relation of what? Pair or relation of what? Pair between vertex and vertex is connected with their edge,
Sir,
right? This one and this one, from this to this line name is edge.
vertex.
Do you understand, honey? And
I
these
understand.
dots are called vertex. Good. These dots are called nodes or vertex, and this connection, this vertex connected by this line is called edge. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So actually this is graph. All these set together, you can say this is a graph. I mean relation between vertex and edge. That is graph. Do you understand? Can I go to the next?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now another keyword is infinite graph and finite graph. What is infinite graph? Dear student, in a graph, if you find something like this, that is you cannot count how many vertex are present or how many edges are present, you can say that graph is infinite graph. Do you understand? But if you are able to count the vertex and edge, there are 4 vertex, 4 edge. There are 2 vertex, 1 edge, right? So 2 vertex which is finite, 1 which is finite. There are 4 vertex with 4 edge. Since 4 vertex, 4 which is finite and 4 edge also finite, so you can say this is finite graph. Is it clear? Finite and infinite.
Sir, please tell me again, sir. Sir, explain again, please, sir.
Yeah, Farhan, suppose you know which one is vertex and which one is edge, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So dots are vertex and connection between 2 dots are called edge. So in a curve, if it is not possible, how many vertex are present? Do you understand? If vertex number are not finite, are not definite, finite, so you can say that graph is called infinite graphs. You
Sir,
understand, Habib?
sir, like that, our how many
No limitation,
vertex
sir.
are countable? That is infinite, and
Yes, if
uncountable. That
countable, yes,
yes, sir.
you can count. I mean, if count is possible, then you can say yes, this is finite. I mean, thousand, hundred, something like this. But if there is not, if how many edges are present, if you cannot say, that time you can say this is infinite graph. But most of things we are deal with finite graph. Okay, finite means whose edges and vertex are limited, that we can count. Do you understand, Habib?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
So if I ask you the question, okay, this is a graph, this is a graph. So what types of this graph? Is it finite or infinite graph?
That is fine.
Finite.
Finite graph. Very good. So why finite? Because there are four edges. This four, which is finite, there are four edges and four vertex. So this four vertex, four, that is finite. That's why it's called finite graph. This is finite graph because it has two edges, two vertex and one edge. So two, which is finite, one which is also finite. So that's why it's called finite graph. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only
Yes, sir.
today we are going to explain the definition, basic definition. Then next class, inshallah, we are going to solve math. Another is simple graph. Now coming to the simple graph. This is important. Simple graph, you need to determine. Just after finishing some definition, we are going to check which one is finite graph, which one is simple graph, like this. Okay. Another is simple graph. So what is simple graph? Can you see the board clearly, Asikuzzaman? Can you see
Yes,
the
sir.
dots?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, man. So how many edges and how many vertex are present? Dear
So
student,
nine
how many
edges,
vertex and how many edges?
edges, and
And
seven
seven vertex, sir. Or no?
part.
Seven vertex, sir. Seven vertex.
Yes, sir. Seven vertex.
Yes, sir.
Dear student,
Yes, sir.
in
7
your
vertex.
question, actually we have named this after drawing the vertex, drawing the curve. We have named, that is, this is A, this is B, this is C. There is not like this name. There is no boundary or sufficient condition. Actually, it is called leveling. You can name here A, B, C, D. That is called leveling. Do you understand? In graphical representation, it is called leveling. We are leveling, means we have to give their name, vertex name. You understand, Habib?
Yes, sir.
By giving vertex name, it's called leveling. So here A, B, C, D, this is not necessary you need to start with A. You can start anywhere. A, B, C, D, anything like this. 1, 2, 3, you can level. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are how many vertex? There are 7 vertex, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many edges?
9 edges.
9.
There are 9 edges, right?
Yes, sir.
These are also important when we are going to explain the isomorphic graph. That time you need to count how many edges, how many vertex, how many nodes or something like this. You need to measure. And now coming here. So there are 7 vertex. Vertex number 7. Vertex, there are 7 vertex. Edges, there are 9 edges, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dear student, we are going to define the simple graph, right? Our objective is what is simple graph. We know what is finite and infinite graph. Next, our target is what is simple graph, and this is given in page number, next page, 697, page number 674. Okay, 674. It's given. Now coming here, the edges. Please focus to find out the simple graph. Whether it, how can you determine? There are 2 steps to determine the simple graph. Simple graph, you need to just determine how many edges connected between the specific vertex. I mean, if you consider A and B vertex, so how many edges here?
1.
1.
1.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You need to just count between specific vertex, this one and this one, A and C, how many edges? How many edges? So single edge or multiple edge? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Multiple means more than one. If 2, 3, something like this. If I draw in previous class also, something like this, if there is, so how many edges here between these two?
Sir, 3, sir.
3 edges, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means it's called multiple edge, right?
Yes, sir.
So to determine the simple graph, you need to find how many edges are connected between 2 specific. So if you find that each and everything is a single edges connected with single edges, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand or not?
Understood, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood.
So you can say this is simple graph. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Sir, but I have one confusion, sir.
Yes.
In AB, there is a single S, sir, and but DEF and DGF, here is a single is not, sir. That is not possible, sir. That's why, sir, I'm confusing, sir.
Which one, Habib?
Sir, DEF and DGF.
DEF and
DGF. Here it's like that's one form, sir.
yeah, Habib. Between, not more. Between vertices. You need to find between vertex.
Oh,
Between.
yes, sir. Now
You
I'm
need to
clear,
deal.
sir.
You need to deal with two vertices, not
Yes.
three.
Okay, sir. Now I'm clear, sir.
The definition is given in book. A graph in which each edge connect with two different vertices. Each edge, this edge connect with two different vertices. This edge connect with two different vertices. This edge connect with two different vertices. You need to check. Do you understand? Each and every edge connect with two different vertices. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
A graph in which each edge connects with two different vertices and where no two edges connects the same pair of vertices. Here the second condition, no two edges connect with the same pair of vertices. Definitely, I mean single, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
is called, this is a simple graph. So if I ask you, if I name this, this is graph X, the graph X, right? So what types of this graph? Is it finite, infinite, or simple graph?
So it's simple graph, sir.
Sir, simple graph.
Is it finite graph?
Yes, sir. Finite graph.
This is simple graph as well as finite graph, right?
Finite graph. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is simple graph as well as finite graph. Is it clear, dear student?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm also providing the definition like that, sir. Simple graph is a two vertex is connecting also single edge.
Yes, that is single it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Hafiz.
Thank you, sir.
If it has a more connection, dear student, if if something like this, now can you say it is simple?
No, sir. It is not
No,
simple.
sir. It is
It is
not
not
simple.
simple. In that case, you can say this is multiple graph. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Instead of telling simple graph, since there are more, these two vertices are connected. It has two edge. This edge and this edge. That's why. So you cannot say simple graph. You can say multiple graph. Multiple graph. Okay. Is it clear or not? Simple graph and multiple graph.
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
So I think we have finished graph. Graph is a relation between vertex and edges. Next, finite graph and infinite graph. If if we can count how many vertices and edges are present, that is called finite. If count is not possible, then you can say infinite graph. Now coming to the simple graph. Simple graph, each vertex, I mean each edge is connected with two vertex, right? Each edge is
Yes,
connected with
sir.
two vertices. Is specific. I mean the relation, you will get a single edge between any two vertices. You will get the single edge. If you find like this, then you can say this is a simple graph. If not, then that is multiple, right? I mean, if there are multiple, is it clear? I mean, more than one edge. If two vertex, these two vertex are connected with more than one edge, that's why it's called multiple graph. Is it clear, dear student?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If something like this, if E is connect with itself, if E, this E is a vertex, this is a edge, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
E connect with E, E connect with E, D connect with E here. That is your called edge. Similarly, E connect with E, it's called loop. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is
Clear.
called loop. It is called loop. Okay. Please keep a note. All these are very easy thing and very easy, I think. So can you say, is it a simple graph? Can you say, is it simple graph? Can you say, dear student, is it simple graph?
No, sir.
No,
No,
we
sir.
cannot say it is a simple graph, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Dear student, another definition. So multiple graph we have finished. Simple graph we have finished. Oh, so pseudo graph. Suppose it is E, right? Suppose there are two loops. So definitely this is not simple graph. We are telling this is a multiple graph. Also, sometimes this multiple graph, if loops exist, as well as multiple edges exist, if loop exists and multiple edges exist, you can say these types of graph is called pseudo graph. Okay,
Sir, please
you
tell me.
understand?
No, sir. Not understanding, sir. Tell me.
Habib,
Yes.
except this, actually, maybe except this pseudo graph, we can say this is a multiple graph, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a multiple edge and multiple loops, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can say multiple graph.
Yes,
So
sir.
instead of telling multiple graph, it has a specific name. A specific name means you cannot say it is a pseudo graph. Something like this. If there is no loop, try to understand. If there is no loop, only multiple edges exist, right? Only multiple edge belongs, then you can say multiple graph.
Okay, sir. Sir, we can say it this type of way. Where, in this graph, where is the two loop, that is called pseudo graph, sir. More,
So in a graph in which multiple edges belongs as well as loops belongs. Do you
sir,
understand?
for multiple loops, sir.
Multiple loop, right? Maybe
Okay.
single loop or multiple loop.
Oh,
Single loop or multiple loop edges, then you can say it is a pseudo graph.
okay, sir.
Is it clear, Lubna?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Sir,
Yes, telling.
maybe its pronunciation is sudo.
Huh?
Sudo. Pseudograph.
Pseudograph.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Photograph.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to the directed and undirected graph. Maybe last two. Hey, this is the last. Directed and undirected graph. What is directed graph and undirected graph? Dear student, here that we have talked, uh, actually there is no direction, right? But from here to here, if I use this arrow sign, so this is called directed graph. Do you understand? Is it clear, Rikta?
That
Yes,
it
sir.
means
Yes,
that provide us the direction that
sir.
is
Clear, sir.
Yes. If direction is exist, then you can say direction,
One.
a directed graph. But if direction is not given, then you can say undirected graph. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Last one. Last one. Influence graph. Influence graph. What is influence graph? Have you finished your writing?
Yes, sir.
Dear student, this types of graph is called influence graph. So why we are calling it influence? Just look at this E. There is a arrow from E to A, there is a arrow, right? E goes to A, E goes to D, E goes to B, right?
Yes, sir.
Here, from B to A, B goes to A, something like
Then
this.
C.
Where is?
C.
I mean D,
C, sir.
D we can consider. So E goes to D and D goes to B, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can we say E following to B, E following A, E following D?
Yes, sir.
If I consider this
Yes,
one,
sir.
because there is a
Yes,
arrow,
sir.
Yes, sir.
E is going to A means A is following A, E is following A, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
E is following B, E is following D.
D. Yes, sir.
Is there any person that who following E? Is there any person?
No, sir.
No, sir.
But if I say D, if I consider this D vertex, E follows D, D follows B, right?
B. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
B.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And C follows D.
Do you understand? And this is a vice versa
Yes.
relation. So we can say from C to B there is a arrow, and from B to C there is another arrow. I mean B influence C, C influence B, right?
Yes, sir.
C following B, B also following C. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So E is influenced by B. Can I say? E is influenced by D. Can I say?
Yes, sir.
E is influenced by A, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
So this is called influence graph. So for influence, direction is important, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So undirected graph, you cannot form influence graph. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
And in an influence graph, can you say something like this? J E is following E. Is it meaningful?
No, sir. It's
No,
not.
sir. E is not following.
I mean, can you say, I'm just influenced by myself?
No,
Is there
sir.
any
No,
valid?
sir.
No,
No,
So,
sir.
so definitely, on the basis of this, we can state that the in influence curve that must be directed graph, and there will be no loop. Are you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
yes, sir.
In influence graph, there will be no, I mean, loop is not allowed, and direction must. Is it clear, dear student?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Asikujaman, or do you have any question? Do you have any question, dear student? This is our definition.
হ্যালো স্যার।
Yes.
স্যার ই তো এখানে লুপ তৈরি করতে পারে নাই, বাট স্যার বি আর সি কি লুপ তৈরি করছে?
Sorry.
স্যার বি আর সি স্যার এখানে কি লুপ তৈরি হয়েছে স্যার? বি থেকে বি টু বি এন্ড সি পয়েন্ট স্যার। হ্যাঁ স্যার।
No, it is not called loop. It is not called loop because it's two different sign.
Yes, sir.
Actually, loops means itself, right?
Yes, sir.
You cannot say this is a loop. There are two different vertex. Loops itself. Loop, by the day, when I talk you definition এ বলেছিলাম, loopটা ছিল by itself, right? Loop means its starting point and ending point is same. Sahin.
Okay, sir.
Loop means when you start from here, then move.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, starting and terminal point same, then you can say it is loop.
Okay, sir.
But here, you are starting here, you are
Yes, sir.
ending here,
Ending
right?
here. Yes, sir.
So starting and ending points are different. So you cannot say it is a loop.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Sahin?
Yes,
Sir, I have a confusion, sir.
Yes. Habib.
Sir, in this infinite graph, when D direction goes to E, that is called infinite graph. স্যার যদি কখনো ইটা স্বতন্ত্র না হয় এই ডিটা ই এর দিকে স্যার রিঅ্যাকশন মুভ করে তখন কি সেটা স্যার ইনফিনিট গ্রাফ হবে?
If connection, that is a different talk. I think you are talking different. Actually, we are using arrow. Arrow means this is the concept of line. Line segment and ray. I think you know. Actually, if we are using this arrow means it's continuing. It goes. You
Yes,
understand?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Arrow means it's continuing. It's going. Right?
Yes, sir.
What is the end point? We don't know. That means arrow means this is, right?
Yes, sir.
We are calling this is a ray, right? Because we know the sourcing point. We know the initial point, right, Habib?
Yes, sir.
What is the terminal point? We don't know, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is called ray maybe. You know, right?
Yes, sir.
It means continuing. It's going. It goes. So you can say this is infinite. This is infinite, right?
Yes, sir.
But we are using the direction. We are moving from this towards this, right?
Yes, sir.
And by ending, here this ending line. B moves towards A. B moves towards A. I mean, when B adjusts at the A, then it stops, right?
Yes,
Habib.
sir.
So you cannot say it is continuously moving. Do you understand, Habib?
Yes, sir.
But here is bound. There is a bound, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not continuously moving. So you cannot say this is a, if something like this, if A and B are graph, and if something like this is given, so you cannot say this is a, this is infinite graph. You cannot say. Do you understand, gentlemen?
Yes, sir. স্যার বেসিক্যালি আমি যেটা বলতেছিলাম স্যার যেহেতু আমাদের ই থেকে এ এর দিকেও চলে গেছে বি এর দিকেও গেছে এবং ডি এর দিকেও গেছে মানে এটা স্যার একটা স্বতন্ত্র মানে ই এর কাছে কেউ মুভ করে নাই মানে ইতে আসে নাই কিছু তো দ্যাটস যদি কোনো একটা দিক থেকে যদি আমরা ডিরেকশনটা চেঞ্জ করি ই এর দিকে আনি তখন কি এটাকে আমরা ইনফিনিট গ্রাফ বলবো স্যার এটা আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছিলাম
Oh, so if direction is something like this,
yes sir
here.
yes sir
So what is your question now?
তাহলে কি এটা আমাদের ইনফিনিট গ্রাফ হবে
Infinite.
yes sir তখন কিন্তু স্যার এটা
Okay, but infinite depends on number of edges and number of nodes. Is it possible or not? Can you count how many edges and how many vertex given?
yes sir
Can you count how many vertex?
yes sir count sir
How many vertex? 5.
yes sir
So 5. So is it finite or infinite?
Sir, it's finite, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Because we can count, right?
Yes, sir.
How many edges?
Here, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, sir.
Is it countable or
Yes.
infinite or finite?
Finite, sir.
So that is finite.
Oh.
Infinite means if number of edges or number of vertex, if it is not countable.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand, Habib? It's
Yes,
not
sir.
actually depends on the direction. Direction the different. I have talked with this.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, understood, sir.
Any other question, Habib?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to give you an page. You can check in your messenger group. A question also. Done. Send with messenger. 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 দেখেন তো দেখা যাচ্ছে নাকি? দেখা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. Actually, you need to determine what types of this graph is, right?
Okay, sir.
হ্যাঁ দেখা যাচ্ছে। So can you try this, dear students?
Sir, number 3 is finite graph and direction. Sorry, sir. Finite graph and sir, simple graph, and also it called indirect graph, sir. Number 3, sir.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6,
The 4 is multiple graph, sir.
6, 7, 8, 9. অনেকগুলো কোশ্চেন।
Yes, sir. That's all.
আমার মনে হয় সহজ আছে, পারবেন না? ইজি
Yes,
হবে
sir.
মনে হয়। হ্যাঁ বলতে পারবেন।
স্যার এটা কি এখনো খুলে দেবো?
হ্যাঁ আপনারা এগুলো ট্রাই করবেন আজকের ক্লাসের বেসিস।
ওকে স্যার।
আপনারা ফ্রি থাকেন কবে বলেন, আপনাদের কাজ দিব আমি।
স্যার বেসিক্যালি ক্লাসের জন্য সবসময় ফ্রি আছি স্যার। বিকজ দিস ইজ আওয়ার প্রফেশন স্যার।
বলেন আপনারা কয়টায় ফ্রি থাকবেন? আপনাদের কিছু কাজ দেওয়া হবে, ইউ হ্যাভ টু সাবমিট অন দ্য বেসিস অফ টুডেজ লেকচার।
কবে স্যার? আজকে?
হ্যাঁ আজকে দিতে হবে।
স্যার আজকে কি সাবমিট করতে হবে?
আজকে কালকেও করলে হবে, মানে রাতের মধ্যে দিতে হবে।
ওকে স্যার, তো দিয়ে দেন স্যার, আমরা রাতের মধ্যে দিতে পারবো।
স্যার কোশ্চেনটা দিয়ে দিন আর কালকে পর্যন্ত টাইম দিন।
না এত সময় দিব না, হালকা সময় দেওয়া হবে।
স্যার সামনে এক্সাম
So
তো
better
স্যার,
we can
সব
take
ফ্যাকাল্টি
attendance.
কুইজ, অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট, প্রেজেন্টেশন সব নিচ্ছে স্যার।
Actually we have taken little bit assignment, right? Fine. So we have to finish. Only we have 4 classes except today.
স্যার আমি বলতেছি সব ফ্যাকাল্টিদের কথা বলছি স্যার, সামনে এক্সাম
Oh,
স্যার, সবাই স্যার নিচ্ছে তো, এই জন্য
হ্যাঁ
আগে স্যার একটু সময় বেশি দিলে ভালো হতো।
Mehdi Hasan, Munna are you present?
Yes, sir. I am present, sir.
Farhan Labib,
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Adiuzzaman,
Yes, sir.
Selim Hossain Sohag,
Yes, sir.
Sakibullah Mian,
Yes, sir.
Moshiur Rahman,
Yes, sir.
Abdullah Al Mahdi Hasan Sohag, Israfil Hussain, Israfil, Sadatullah Naim,
Yes, sir.
Anika Bushra,
Yes, sir.
Niyaz
Yes, sir.
Morshed, Niyaz present, Hussein MD Shafat,
Yes, sir.
বন্নি বিশ্বাস,
Yes, sir.
নজরুল ইসলাম, রেদওয়ান আহমেদ রাতুল,
Yes, sir.
শেখ মোহাম্মদ সাদিকুল,
Yes, sir.
ইমতিয়াজ সাদিকুল অ্যাবসেন্ট,
Sir, present. Sir, Sadiko.
সাদিকুল প্রেজেন্ট, ইমতিয়াজ হোসেন রাফি, রাফি, জুলিয়ানা তনু,
Present, sir.
ফারজানা তানিয়া,
Yes, sir. Sir,
ইসরাত জাহান ইরা,
Yes,
ওকে, আব্দুল খালেক,
Yes, sir.
খালেক ভাই, why you are late today?
There is no electricity, sir, today in our area.
অনিক পল,
Yes, sir.
ফারজানা আক্তার হিমা,
Present, sir.
রোমানা আফরোজ,
Present, sir.
সাবরিনা আক্তার,
Yes, sir.
ইফরাত জাহান লিমা, লিমা, ইফরাত,
But
আব্দুল
she was
লতিফ
present,
তালুকদার,
sir.
আব্দুল লতিফ তালুকদার,
Yes, sir.
শান্তা চৌধুরী,
Yes, sir.
রাহাতিল মাহমুদা,
Yes, sir.
রুহুল আমিন, খাজা মিনহাজ,
Sir, Ruhul Amin present, sir.
রুহুল আমিন প্রেজেন্ট,
Yes,
ওকে,
sir.
মিনহাজ, খাজা মিনহাজ, নাহিদা ইসলাম, হুমায়ুন কবির,
Yes, sir.
খন্দকার হাবিব প্রেজেন্ট, সঞ্জিদা খান মিতু, এমএসটি সঞ্জিদা খান মিতু, অর্চিতা রয়,
Yes, sir.
সুমায়া প্রেজেন্ট, কাজী ফারিয়া শারমিন,
Yes, sir.
সিয়াব সারওয়ার, So have you done, dear student? কেউ করেছেন? জোবায়ের, লুবনা,
Sir,
Tanjum
Tanjum Akhtar is present.
হ্যাঁ তানজুম, I know you are present.
Okay, sir.
Okay, miss. So okay, that's all for today and thank you.
Hello, sir. I am disconnected, sir. Shine sign, sir.
হ্যাঁ, sign, your attendance is given.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Assalamu
assignment